If you thought the X30 juniors in Group A and B were exciting, well, in Group C and D were exciting, sorry, then in Groups A and B they certainly will be again. Looked like a little trip off the road there for Mael Montero, but it's all sorted again. Here is the starting grid for this one. Archie Owen and Antoine Duval, the fastest two men in junior from the qualifying sessions earlier. Louis Bazire and Theo Polisson from Jan Rodriguez and Hugues Piquant of Guadeloupe. Then Freddie Wood and Sam Mott, Gabriel Canel and Jacob Bachler, Yannis van den Bosch and Nilas Malik from Max Lacroix and Theo Guillotot, Alexander Wiley and Mael Montero, Roslan Srayaisa and Nateo Combaton from Maxime Nopel, Sacha Duquet, Lula Canuti Duchutel, Lucy Lovell, then Charles Van Calom and Ethan Higgins taking up residence at the tail of the field. 24 competitors in X30 Junior. Looks like we've got one kart in dire straits at the back end of the field, trying to catch up with the rest of the field. A couple of drivers going off the road initially. It is Roslan Srayaisa, the Algerian, who's trying to get back to his position, but I don't think he's going to make it before the red line. So sadly, the Algerian is now going to have to start this race from the back of the field. He's trying to overtake everybody, but I think he's missed his chance. So that's a problem for the Algerian. He's now going to have to form up at the tail of the field. So as the field works its way back into position, we've now got the charge between Archie Owen, Antoine Duval, Bazire, Polisson, Rodriguez and Piquant for the second of the X30 Junior Heats.
Et c'est parti, chers amis. Les pilotes les plus rapides en qualification. Les feux s'éteignent. Départ à l'assaut du premier virage. Excellent envol de Archie Owen. Antoine Duval par l'extérieur, qui n'a pas forcément l'avantage théorique en allant justement avec la trajectoire la moins bien placée dans le premier freinage. Ça se passe plutôt bien pour l'ensemble des protagonistes dans cette manche qualificative. La première, oh, et contact, 3, 4, 5 pilotes malheureusement imbriqués dans un gros accrochage dans le virage numéro 2 et 3, le numéro 118. Nous avons Hugues Piquant, Gabriel Canal, ainsi que d'autres qui ont été pris malheureusement dans cette grosse incompréhension, mais tout le monde est parvenu à repartir en un seul morceau. Ça, c'est une autre question, évidemment. Je pense que malheureusement, des pilotes du team Renault Racing semblent en difficulté, à moins qu'il s'agisse des pilotes du team PB. On va revenir dessus d'ici quelques instants, mais je pense que cet accrochage aura fait une victime. C'est toujours mieux que 5 ou 6, mais malheureusement pour lui, eh bien, ça signifie course terminée avant même qu'elle ait débuté.
Looks like one retirement from the race on that first lap then after the difficulties on the opening course, and that is Gabriel Canal. Canal, who got caught up on that first lap incident. The car is too badly damaged, and so he will not take any further part in this race. Very unfortunate indeed, as the likes of Hugues Piquant and Lula Canuti Deschitel are able to recover after their incidents and retain their positions at the back. But it's game over for Gabriel Canal. What a shame for the man who started 9th on the grid for this one. He's going to have his work cut out for him tomorrow. But up at the front, it's Archie Owen and Louis Bazire as they want a little bit of a battle up front again. The fastest two drivers from the battles earlier on, although Antoine Duval, the fastest in qualifying in his group, finds himself struggling to maintain the pace on Archie Owen, who holds this lead for the BMR squad. But watch out, here comes Louis Bazire on the Kart Republic chassis as they dive down the straight once again. So let's see if there's going to be a run from Bazire on the inside. Archie Owen holds his nerve to the inside line. So it's getting very interesting indeed up at the sharp end of the dais, and these two are allowing the duo behind them, Jan Rodriguez and Antoine Duval, to get closer to them. Then it's Van den Bosch driving beautifully up into 5th position from 11th on the grid. From Polisson, Bechler, Malik, Guillotot, Mott, Wiley, Combassant, Nopel and Duquet. So already some big moves in the field, and a lot of drivers taking advantage of those first lap hiccups. The big movers in the field, though, the man up 7 places is, the driver, I should say, up 7 places is Lucy Lovell, one of the few drivers from the ladies contingent not racing in the Ladies Cup, because you've got to be of senior X30 persuasion to compete in the Ladies Cup. So no doubt in the future we will see Lucy Lovell putting on such a good show up to that point. But it's really exciting stuff for the moment as Owen leads, Bazire, Rodriguez, Duval, Polisson, Van den Bosch, Bechler, Malik, Guillotot and Mott. And the top 10 having a great duel. Right, here comes the top 4. Bazire hunting down Archie Owen. And Antoine Duval wants to get himself back into the mix here from Jan Rodriguez. So Jan Rodriguez wanting to work his way up into 2nd position, but the Portuguese driver going well. 4 different nations in the top 4 places. The UK, France, Portugal and Belgium. And it really is tight as they go onto the back straight here in the Iame Euro Cup 2025 Junior X30 for Groups B versus A in the qualifying heat. And so far so good for Louis Bazeret, still putting Owen under pressure with the two Car Republic chassis drivers in two very different teams running up at the sharp end of the field, and that's the VDK driver in third. That is Jan Rodriguez ahead of Antoine Duval for Euro Karting. Very close indeed as they run on the turn again. We're going to see some more great battles from them as they continue to put on a good show. And we're going to see some more terrific duels from the drivers as they get up to the S's, through the right and through the left. Much better run here from Archie Owen as he manages to shake off Bazeret for the time being. Rodriguez and Duval still close together for third and fourth place. Then a bit of a gap back to Polisson for Dream and Yannis van den Bosch for Euro Karting. And as they squirt their way out of the banking, it's still the top four. They have got well clear of everybody else. And if there's even a sniff of an overtaking move from the drivers behind, that's going to back up the four of them into the path of Polisson and Van den Bosch. And what a move from Louis Bazeret into the final chicane. He manages to get the sweep there, and it's a brilliant run from the victory lane driver Louis Bazeret to get through onto the inside line. But it's not done yet, because watch for Jan Rodriguez, the Portuguese driver in the VDK Racing Team kart, finds himself challenging for the big stuff. It's three Kart Republics in three different squads, but who's going to have it?
Who's going to have it? That's a question indeed. La question qui se pose évidemment, dans quel ordre vont-ils franchir la ligne d'arrivée? 5 minutes plus un tour dans cette deuxième manche de la catégorie junior. Ce sera la dernière, hélas, pour cette catégorie aujourd'hui. Alors que dans le banking, Baziré, Archie Owen, Yann Rodriguez avec Antoine Duval qui s'invite à la fête évidemment. 4 pilotes dans la même image, prêts à en découdre jusqu'au bout. C'est le spectacle de la catégorie junior, c'est le spectacle de la Iame Euro Cup. Il est très très menaçant. Yann Rodriguez qui est passé en deuxième position au volant du châssis VDK Racing. Le pilote du BMR Racing, troisième désormais. Et plus pour longtemps, le voilà qui va tenter de passer peut-être au premier virage. Oh, la porte était fermée par Yann Rodriguez, le seul pilote, je pense, ou l'un des deux seuls pilotes du team VDK Racing ce week-end, que l'on a été habitué à voir plus nombreux dans ce genre d'épreuve. Saison évidemment très très chargée dans le chef du team belge. Évidemment, il faut parfois faire des choix. Ça se comprend aisément. Alors que derrière, eh bien, la formation Eurokarting du karting des Fagnes de Mariembourg. Antoine Duval, l'un des plus rapides représentants de la formation belge, en quatrième position. Il observe sagement ce qui se passe devant lui, Antoine Duval. Il ne commet aucun impair. Il jauge ses adversaires gauche comme droite. Attend peut-être la meilleure opportunité de faire la différence. Il a encore du temps devant lui, évidemment. Le tout, c'est de ne pas se précipiter. Et en parlant de se précipiter, mais que c'est bien exécuté de la part de Archie Owen qui ravit la deuxième place à Yann Rodriguez dans la chicane. Ça ne s'est pas encore vu beaucoup, mon cher Jake, d'aller porter les stockades là-bas dans un virage aussi serré. Mais voilà que Archie Owen revient en deuxième position et il est temps de commencer à, eh bien, tout doucement s'en faire un petit peu, puisque je pense qu'ils se sont accrochés là-bas. En tout cas, on a semblé avoir comme une espèce de... Oui, petite hésitation là-bas, la sortie du virage numéro 1. Mais voilà le pilote VDK qui repasse devant. Rodriguez de retour en deuxième position. Archie Owen 3. Voilà, ces deux-là n'ont pas fini de vraiment nous mettre en ébullition jusqu'au terme de cette manche. Mais je voulais dire que le plus longtemps ils continueront de se battre et le plus ils perdront du temps, j'en ai bien peur, sur Louis Baziré. Et est-ce que nous n'avons pas Antoine Duval qui est passé en deuxième position? Effectivement. Oui, effectivement, confirmation, Antoine Duval. Et je pense qu'on l'a vu, mais sans vraiment le voir, dans le coin de notre image, à la sortie du virage numéro 1. Duval qui a profité d'une légère hésitation entre ses deux rivaux pour passer en deuxième position.
That was a very important overtaking move there from Antoine Duval to get his move when he needed to, but it looks as though the man who is currently second on the road is actually further back than he wants to be. 1:23, Antoine Duval has managed to make his bid there, but he's still got to keep his wits about him. He's still got 2.5 minutes on Louis Baziré to close up on him. Jan Rodriguez now ahead of Archie Owen, who has slipped back into the clutches of Theo Polisson, the Dream Racing driver, and Polisson is definitely the kind of driver who will find a gap and go for the slingshot manoeuvre. He's got a chance at third position now. I think the two leaders, Baziré and Duval, are just a little bit too far ahead now from the trio behind for them to make an impact left in this race. We've got 2 minutes to go, unless it's a bombastic battle between Baziré and Duval, which I wouldn't rule out. But it's certainly looking pretty tasty for the two leaders to get well clear. Jan Rodriguez is a full 2 seconds back now from the man in second position. Make that almost 2.5, certainly from the leader. And on the inside line, is that going to be enough of a move? Well, there might have been some contact there as Jan Rodrigues slips behind Archie Owen and Theo Polisson, and I've got a feeling that the Portuguese driver is not going to be too happy about it.
Non, effectivement, Jan Rodrigues qui vient de se faire chourer 2 positions malheureusement. Le voilà qui retombe de la 3e à la 5e place avec Archie Owen et Theo Polican de Dream Racing qui en profite pour se glisser en 4e position dans ce virage numéro 1. Ça n'avait rien d'évident malheureusement pour Jan Rodrigues qui doit être plus que furieux sur son casque. Il a encore du temps, 1 minute et 1 tour. Ça nous fait environ 3 tours sans doute avant le drapeau à damier. De quoi éventuellement renverser la vapeur pour le pilote portugais. Alors que nous revenons avec les hommes de tête. Et ça, c'est intéressant. Louis Baziré du team Victory Lane, champion 2025 de la Iame Series Benelux. Peut-il, après avoir été sacré roi de Belgique, s'imposer également en France au terme de cette Iame Eurocup? Antoine Duval ne l'entend pas de cette oreille. Évidemment, il va tenter de lui donner du fil à retordre jusqu'au drapeau à damier. C'est Victory Lane contre Eurokarting. Baziré qu'on pensait l'espace d'un instant qu'il avait course gagnée après avoir profité de la bataille entre Archie Owen, Jan Rodrigues et Antoine Duval pour vraiment creuser un écart suffisamment significatif. Il n'en est rien. Duval en tout cas cravaché. Baziré lui a répondu avec le meilleur tour en course, mais le pilote belge pour l'instant bien menaçant sur le pilote français de tête. Les secondes s'égrènent. Je pense que nous allons rentrer potentiellement dans l'avant-dernier tour. Et non, je pense que... Oui, regardez le chrono qui va terminer. Le chrono qui se termine maintenant. Le chrono qui tombe à 0. Et voilà, nous allons passer la ligne. Et c'est d'entrée de jeu le dernier tour. Eh bien, peut-être que Antoine Duval pensait profiter de 2 révolutions du tracé du Mans. Il n'en aura qu'une, mon cher Jake. Et quelques opportunités pour éventuellement aller chercher Louis Baziré.
Has Duval got one final battle in him to go after Louis Baziré, the Euro-karting driver from Belgium, with one final throw of the dice here to get on terms with Louis Baziré. Baziré looking a little bit wide out of the S's. This could be a chance for Antoine Duval. He looks one way, looks the other, up to the banking. They're going to go side by side. Duval will try and get the reverse slingshot to come back onto the back straight. Baziré is defending valiantly here to make it work in his favour. He looks over his shoulder. Baziré and Duval. Baziré holds the inside line, but Duval looks like he could get the slingshot round him on the outside. Can he be smart as he kicks out of the final turn? Duval tries to set up Baziré on a run to the line, but it will be Louis Baziré just in front of Antoine Duval. Very close indeed between the two men. Third position for Archie Owen. Frustration from Theo Polisson as he has 2 hands off the wheel as he comes across the line and looked to the race director, almost as if to say, did you see what he did to me? 4th position for a very frustrated Theo Polisson as he came across the line. Jan Rodrigues in front of Yannis van den Bosch. They had a great battle all the way to the death as well. So some really exciting duels then in X30 Junior in qualifying heat A versus B. And for Louis Baziré, it is a winning start to the Iame Eurocup 2025 ahead of Antoine Duval and Archie Owen. Theo Polisson and Jan Rodrigues ahead of Yannis van den Bosch, Jacob Bechler, Sam Mott, Nilas Malik and Maxime Nobel in the top 10. Then Theo Guillotot ahead of Rostan Sraya-Aissa, very good fight back from him. And the man from Guadeloupe, Hugh Picon, in 13th ahead of Alexander Wiley, Mael Montero, Nateo Combacan, and then Sacha Duquet in front of Lucy Lovell. Freddie Wood ahead of Max Lacroix, and then Charles Van Kellecom ahead of Ethan Higgins. 2 retirements from the race then, Lula Canuti Deschitel and Gabriel Canal. They both ended up on the first lap incident. One was out in 4 corners, the other lasted a couple of laps more. So for Louis Baziré, that was a tough duel between himself and Antoine Duval. And even in the early stages, that battle between him, Archie Owen and Jan Rodrigues could very nearly have gone wrong. So certainly for Louis Baziré, the man who started 3rd on the grid, he's been able to turn the tables a little bit here in the junior category. So I would not expect anything less than more of the same as we continue our journey moving forward, heading on to their second heats tomorrow.